Hey everyone, welcome back to another deck idea brought to you by Double Sleeved. Today we're going to be going over the yellow Vegeta and Trunks deck, a deck that I'm extremely excited for coming out in the upcoming set. So let's jump into it. Starting off, we've got the leader Trunks. Auto, when this card attacks, draw one card. Activate main, if you have 2 or more energy and you choose one yellow Vegeta card in your battle area, place it under this card. Flip this card over. If you do, draw one card, then add cards from your life until you have 6 life left. And then we have the standard awaken as well. When your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. We're going to be utilizing the activate main a bit more than the awaken at 4 life, just because we can get this off turn 2 quite consistently. All we need is the 1-drop Vegeta on the field, or any Vegeta, any yellow Vegeta really, and if we can put it under our leader, we can flip it over. They have restricted the kind of benefit that you get from doing the activate main, obviously drawing one card instead of the draw 2 or the draw 1 and untap 1, but since we're able to get this off so consistently and so early, they have just given us the draw 1. On the awaken side, we've got SSB Vegeta and SS Trunks Father Son Onslaught. Auto, when this card attacks, you may draw one card. If you don't, choose up to one yellow Vegeta, yellow Trunks Future, or yellow Bulma Future card with an energy cost of 1 in your hand or drop area and play it in rest mode. Auto, once per turn, when a battle card activates its EX Evolve skill from your hand, draw one card. And then we also have an activate battle. Once per turn, place one card from under this card in its owner's drop area. This card gets plus 10,000 power and double strike for the battle. Since we're getting that Vegeta underneath our leader to use the activate main on the front side, we're able to use that Vegeta then for the activate battle. Give this 10,000 power and double strike is really good. It's essentially a champer for 0 energy, but we're able to do that at any point in the game once we flip over to our awakened side. Really strong effect. The auto is really good as well. As we go into a lot of the battle cards, you'll see that the cards themselves do draw cards. So being able to get the body onto the field and then use that battle card to then draw us a card is a whole lot better than just drawing one off the leader. So as long as we can get that Vegeta or Trunks into the drop area or from our hand onto the field, we're able to get that effect off, as opposed to just the standard draw one. And then the EX, when we activate an EX Evolve, we're able to draw one as well, which will be quite relevant in this deck. We do play quite a couple of different cards with EX Evolve, so we will see how that kind of works with the deck and how we're able to maintain quite a decent hand size, which yellow likes to do, using a lot of these cards' various skills. Into the battle cards, we have 1-drop Vegeta, Father-Son Teamwork, 1 cost, Barrier, Auto. If your leader card is a yellow Trunks Future card, when this card is played, choose one. We can draw one card, or play up to 1 Trunks Father-Son Teamwork from your deck or drop area with its non-keyword skills negated for the turn. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So we can kind of see that synergy with the leader being able to play this card from the drop area and being able to draw one off this card, or we can play the Trunks from the deck instead if we need it. And then we have the Trunks Father-Son Teamwork, same effect, but instead of the Vegeta, we're able to play the Vegeta from the deck instead of being able to play the Trunks. So quite duplicates of one another, being able to search the other one out. Again, if we're playing this card off our leader, we're able to draw one. The cards themselves have their non-keyword skills negated. So if you're playing the opposing one with this battle card, you're not going to be able to draw one or play out another Trunks, but they both will continue to have Barrier, which is really good. It means that they're able to stick on the field. And we do need these cards for the next 2 cards. We're going into the EX Evolve skills. We have SSB Vegeta Future on the line. EX Evolve for 1 yellow energy, draw 1 card over a yellow Vegeta with an energy cost of 1. So that Father-Son Teamwork that we just went over. When this card is played using an EX Evolve skill, switch this card to active mode, and then auto once per turn. When this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and KO it. A really strong card. I really like the way that this card plays over the 1-drops, which we're able to get out quite easily. They're able to stick on the field because they have barrier, so I really like the way that they've kind of built the engine for this deck. The EX Evolve skill draws us a card, and we also draw a card off our leader, so this is how we're able to maintain a bit of a decent hand size, and then sometimes we're playing our one drops in rest mode using our leaders effect and things like that. So it's really good that they've added the auto of being able to switch to active mode, and then being able to KO anything on the field in rest mode, ignoring barrier, is an incredibly strong effect. Something that Yellow's kind of had a bit of a difficulty in the past being able to KO cards. We did see Turles get introduced, which was able to KO 1 or 2 cards depending on what we needed. So another card that's able to KO things is always greatly appreciated. But moving on to the Trunks EX Evolve card. So we have SS2 Trunks Future on the line. This one, again, maintaining barrier. We've got Blocker, 19k, EX Evolve for 1 yellow energy. Again, we're able to draw that 1 card, and then we will draw off Leader as well. But this one's evolving over a yellow Trunks with an energy cost of 1. So again, that father-son teamwork. Same thing when this card is played using EX Evolve. We get to switch to active mode, so we will have that attack or the block available depending on which one we need. And then we have auto once per turn. If your leader card is a yellow Trunks Future card, when your opponent plays a battle card or unison card, choose it and switch it to rest mode. We have seen this effect in the past with cards like Poutine. A lot of talk again about Poutine potentially being banned in the upcoming ban list or limited and things like that. But being able to have this effect on the Trunks is really good as well. It means that they do like the effect, but perhaps Poutine's just a little bit too easy to get out. Worth noting as well, similar to Poutine, this effect will trigger on the first battle card or unison that gets played. So you're not able to choose when you want to activate this card. So your opponent can play around it, but yeah, you do have to activate it on the first card that gets played. But yeah, really good card nonetheless. Moving on to kind of the boss monster for the deck, we have SSB Vegeta and SS Trunks Father-Son Bonds. It's an 8 cost, 3 specified yellow. This card is 35k critical. We have an activate main for 2 yellow energy. If you have 3 or more energy and you choose 1 yellow Vegeta and 1 yellow Trunks Future card in your battle area, play this card from your hand, then place the chosen cards under this card. So it's not an EX Evolve skill. We're not going to be able to draw off our leader and things like that. It's just an activate main, but we're going to have the 2 cards underneath this, which is relevant for the activate battle. Limit 1, place 2 cards from under this card in their owner's drop areas. We get to draw 1 card, choose 2 of our opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO them, and then this card gains triple strike for the battle. A really strong card into some colors like green, which, this card can get around Freezer being an 8 cost. Not too bad into the blue matchup, but because it's only 2 energy, it's not like we're paying 4 just to get God Sealed, but that is something to think about. This card can be bounced back to your hand, which can be frustrating. It can get bottom decked by Boo. It doesn't have Deflect or Barrier, but yeah, being able to have that option to go 35k triple strike critical, if we are able to get this attack off and it's not negated, it can definitely deal a great deal of damage. Then we have Realm of the Gods Black Kamehameha, a 1 cost extra card for 1 specified yellow. Activate battle. If your leader card is yellow, choose up to 1 of your cards and it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. Then choose 1. If it's your turn, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. And if it's your opponent's turn, draw 1 card and then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and switch them to rest mode. Both really good effects. Again, we're seeing the option to be able to KO our opponent's battle cards, which Yellow's lacked in the past, like I mentioned before. So now we've got that option to keep our opponent's battle area clear. If we're not switching things to rest mode, we can just straight up remove them. But being able to use this on your opponent's turn, get the plus 10,000, draw a card, so it's replacing itself, and then choose 2 of our opponent's battle cards and switch them to rest mode is an incredible effect. Yellow's kind of struggled against really fast, aggressive decks, so being able to get out of an attack and eliminate 2 other attacks while maintaining the same hand size, I definitely think that we'll see this card get played not only in this deck, but in other yellow decks in the future as well. Mecha Freezer Robotic Riposte, a pretty standard yellow card that we're seeing now with the amount of extra cards that we've kind of got coming out. Negate the attack, play this card. If your leader is yellow, your opponent has 2 or more energy. Reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each yellow extra card in your energy area and drop area. So you can bring it down to a 1 cost. And when it gets played, each time your opponent would attack with a non-unison card, they need to choose one of their cards and switch it to rest mode. And then we also have the activate main for 2 yellow energy. Choose 1 yellow freezer card with an energy cost of 4 and mecha in its card name. Play it on top of this card. Not something that we've got in this deck. We don't have any other mecha cards to be using that skill, but we are playing it for the floodgate effect. Power of a Super Saiyan, another pretty standard yellow card that we're seeing across all yellow decks at this point. Counterattack, negate the attack, but we're mainly using it for the activate battle. We have a permanent. If you have 1 or more mono yellow energy in active mode, you can activate this card's activate battle skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. And the activate battle is if your leader is mono yellow, draw 1 card, and then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and switch to rest mode. And then you can't activate copies of this card. You can't activate the activate battle, on copies of this card for the turn. Again, another card that we could see get touched in the upcoming ban list. It is, being able to just kind of replace itself and tap down a card is really good. So hopefully this doesn't get banned or anything or limited and things like that, but I can definitely see why it's on the chopping block. Swift Retaliation Cooler, yellow's counter. If your leader is yellow, negate the counter skill and play this card. When you play this card, draw 1, and then if you have 6 or more cards in rest mode, draw 1 more card. It's a 3 cost for 3 yellow energy. Basil, Fatal Rampage, a 1 cost for 1 specified yellow, has a permanent. Only 1 copy of this card can be played in your battle area, and when it does get played, you get to draw 1. And we have the activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in rest mode, this card gets plus 15,000 power and dual attack until the start of your next main phase. So over your opponent's turn, it will maintain that plus 15,000 power. A really good card. You know, a lot of our yellow cards are tapping down battle cards and energy and things like that as they come into play. So being able to get this 19k dual attack is really good. Vegeta's Final Flash, one of the best extra cards that we've seen in this game. Activate battle. If your leader card is yellow, choose up to 1 of your leader cards or battle cards, and it gets plus 15,000 power for the duration of the battle. And then if all of your energy is yellow, when you activate this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, negate its skills for the duration of the turn. We can kind of eliminate any double strike, triple strike, things like that. If we need to remove barrier off cards or indestructible and things like that to be able to KO them with our other cards effects, we've got that option there as well. But also getting the plus 15,000 is really good. Bergamo, Ferocious Roar. This card is limited, so we're only playing the 1 copy. Auto for 1 yellow and 1 generic energy. When one of your opponent's cards is switched to rest mode by 1 of your skills, play this card from your hand. And then if your leader is yellow or a Universe 9 card, when you play this card, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and or energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest mode. It can be punishing when we're able to switch cards for free, using, for example, the 3 cost Trunks or the Poutine or Power of Super Saiyan and things like that, and then have that 2 energy available to be able to tap another 2 of our opponent's energy or 2 more battle cards and get a 20k body onto the field. Turles, all too easy, a staple that we've seen in yellow now that recently came out in Saiyan Showdown. 20k double strike. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, and then we get to choose 1. We can either draw a card, so replacing itself, or we can choose another 1 of our opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. Having a 20k double strike that can remove 2 cards, 2 battle cards, is incredibly good. I really love this card, and as soon as it came out, I was a big fan of it. Activate main, 2 yellow energy. If your leader card is a mono yellow Saiyan and you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. So a lot of value for just 2 energy. I am running Vegeta Unison of Fury. It's a 2 cost yellow unison that we saw come out of an expansion set. The reason that we have this card in there is we're seeing black, being really dominant at the moment. A lot of big beefy battle cards that are dealing quite substantial damage, and we have a -1 activate main card on this unison. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards with energy cost greater than their current energy until the end of their next turn. So an incredible kind of shut down to our opponent's turn if they're relying on these big battle cards. Yeah, really good. We don't have a plus kind of effect on this, so we're able to use that -1 at any point, because the reason let me go over that again. The way we're able to add markers onto this unison is through the activate main, not a plus-minus effect. So we're able to choose this card or one of our battle cards and switch to rest mode to add a marker to this card. So it doesn't necessarily have to be this card. We can switch, one of our other battle cards that we're not going to attack with and things like that to add the marker and then use the -1. We also have the -3 activate main. Choose up to one of your opponent's energy, switch it to rest mode, then this card gets plus 5,000 power, double strike, and dual attack for the turn. So it can also be a finisher as well, not just limiting our opponent's battle cards attacks. A really good unison. Frieza Army Reinforcements, a pretty standard negate that we're seeing across all decks. There's one for each color now. Counterattack, if your leader is mono yellow, negate the attack, then play one Frieza's Army token with 10,000 power, and it gains blocker for the turn. We're able to activate this counter effect by adding one card from our life to our hand if we are at 5 or less life, so we don't need to pay the energy cost. We can just add the card from life to our hand and negate the attack and get that blocker out. Super combo, Krillin moments before comeback, pretty standard. Bottom deck card, draw 2. And then we have Son Goku, Steadfast Assistance, another staple for yellow. It's 5k blocker. Counterplay, the battle card being played is played in rest mode, then play this card and draw 1. We have a permanent, when activating this card's counter skill from your hand, reduce the card's energy cost by 1 for each yellow extra card in your battle area, energy area, and drop area. Similar to that Robotic Riposte, we're able to get this card to a 1 cost, stop a card coming into play by putting it in rest mode so they can't attack with it, and then having the blocker available as well. Furthering Destruction Champa, standard. When you combo with this card, choose one of your attacking cards and it gains double strike. The secret rare, we have Pan, Time Patrol Maiden. Ultimate counterattack, if you have 3 or more energy, play this card and your opponent can't attack with battle cards for the turn. Can't activate the counter skill on copies of this card for the game. Permanent, for each battle card in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then we have the activate main for 1 energy. Remove this card from the game. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and gain control of it. A lot of our battle cards have barrier, so they're going to hang around on the field and reduce the energy cost of this card quite consistently. Being able to activate this card for free is really good and shut down our opponent's battle cards from attacking. Poutine the Dark Sorcerer, a really strong card that's going into a lot of yellow decks, just with Power of the Super Saiyan and Robotic Riposte being able to tap cards so easily. We may see this card get removed and stuck on the ban list. So if that's the case, we will need to change this around a little bit. But for the time being, it's not banned, so we're going to use it. Barrier, unique. If your leader is yellow, when an opponent's card is switched to rest mode by one of your card's skills, you may play this card from your hand. And then auto once per turn, when your opponent plays a battle card using a skill or activates a counter skill, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch to rest mode. So similar to the 3-cost Trunks. Again, if they're both already on the field and our opponent plays a card using a skill, they will both trigger and we won't be able to use them both at a later time. But if we're able to switch a card using the Trunks and then play Poutine from that effect, then we're able to rest another card if our opponent plays one using a skill. So some kind of synergy between the two. But yeah, whether we see this card get removed or not, time will tell. But for the time being, it's definitely found a place in my yellow decks. And then SS4 Bardock fighting against Fate, the overwhelm for the deck. We don't really have any cards that utilize too much of the drop area, with Robotic Riposte and Steadfast also utilizing the energy area as well. If we're able to charge those extra cards early on, we don't need to worry about the drop area, but that is something to keep in mind if you don't have any extra cards in the drop area, in the energy area. If they're all in the drop area and you are utilizing the overwhelm on this card, for the following turn, you may struggle to be able to use that Riposte and that Steadfast Assistance. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, a great finisher, overwhelm 6, and then we got a 25k dual attack. A nice little way to round off the deck. But yeah, a great yellow deck that we're probably going to see take place of Icarus, or at least alongside Icarus. Yeah, definitely keen to try this one out. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether this will replace Icarus or if it will just be not as strong of a yellow deck to some of the other ones out there, like Sin Shenron and the upcoming Zamasu deck as well, which we will go over. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you at the next one.